Chapter 76. After Ash searched the area and found no trace of Xiao Gang, he could only ask Meowth to use the machine to locate him. Ash then confirmed that the pervert who was caught was Xiao Gang. Boss, are you going to redeem that person? Meowth looked speechlessly at the instrument in his hand that showed Xiao Gang's location. Meowth could only ask weakly, and the Pikachu on Ash's shoulder had already covered his face speechlessly. Chansey also seemed to not know what to say. Finally, Ash clapped his hands and said, "Let's go. Let's go to the Rainbow Gym. Let him calm down in the police station first to avoid any more trouble." Agreed Meow. Pikapi. Me too. Lucky. It's better not to cause him any trouble. In the end, Xiao Gang was abandoned by Ash and his friends, and Ash also received a phone call. "Boss, the police said they need to borrow the Machoke and Macamp from our fitness park. I borrowed it. Assisting the police is a serious matter." "Okay, boss." After hanging up the phone, Ash left with Pikachu and the others as if nothing had happened. Song left behind 10 extremely angry backs. Of course, this back represents the future of a certain pervert. Can we just treat this as nothing happened? When heading to the Rainbow Gym, Ash unexpectedly saw the 3 clowns from Team Rocket, who were hanging from a tree and exuding the unique gloom smell. "Wow, you guys didn't sneak into the Rainbow Gym, didn't you know there's a gloom in there? The stench of a gloom is comparable to moldy socks that haven't been washed for years. We've seen this before, *3 James, let's not talk about that. Can you put us down? I want to take a shower. I stink." After hearing what James said, Jessie gave James a fatal scissor kick and vice grip and said, "You idiot, why are you begging for mercy from the little devil? You're the idiot, Meow. Do you want to smell this stench some more?" Looking at these 3 funny guys, Ash shook his head and took out a bottle of air freshener to spray them. "It's impossible to put you down, but I can give you some fresh air. I've used up the whole bottle, is that enough? I'm leaving now. Bye. Pikapi. Bye. Lucky. Don't do stupid things next time. Meow, can't you find something else to do, Meow?" Although Ash didn't put them down, Ash's air freshener still saved Team Rocket, so they said, "Thanks, kid. *3 number, Beedrill, put this special honey on them." Hearing that these 3 guys were asking for trouble again, Ash took out some honey and asked Beedrill to apply it on Team Rocket. "Jessie, hey? What is this?" "James, I don't know, but it seems very sweet." Meowth tasted it and said, "Meow. It's honey. Wait. Honey." Then a group of Beedrills rushed towards them with red eyes. What a disgusting feeling! *3 dividing line. It's a gym battle now, Chen Gym Trainer Erica versus Ash. Erica looked at Ash and said with a smile, "Since rival is you, Ash, then I won't be polite. Go. Victory Ball." Knowing that Ash's strength was uncertain, Erica stopped using ordinary rookie Poké copyright Monday, and Ash threw out his luxury ball. "Come out Bulbasaur." Seeds, seeds. Bulbasaur looked at his rival with fighting spirit in his eyes, and at the same time he had already started to activate the skill deep breathing taught by Ash. Victory Belk, CFDD, Razor Leaf. Dashawa flicked his leaves, and countless leaves flew towards Bulbasaur. Beat it down with Rattan. Seed. Bulbasaur's wickerwork became extremely hard due to the power of deep breath, and it directly pressed Razor Leaf's crotch. Use the Rattan weave to launch a one-word slash. No. Victreebel, get out of the way. Erica realized something was wrong when she saw Bulbasaur's wicker hitting Victreebel. Fortunately, her order came in time and Victreebel dodged the attack. As Bulbasaur's slash hit the ground, a huge crack appeared on the scene, showing the power of Bulbasaur's move. Victreebel uses acid. Victreebel heard Erica's order and directly spit up acid towards Bulbasaur, while Ash said calmly, "Bulbasaur, take a deep breath," and then seed Gatling color ripple sprint. As a light flashed from Bulbasaur's body, its mouth bulged up, and then countless seeds were quickly spit up by it, directly destroying Victreebel acid and then hitting Victreebel. Not good. Final blow. Sunshine Flame. Seed. The power of the ripples flowed through Bulbasaur, and then a powerful sun flame was fired directly at Victreebel. Even though Victreebel was a grass type, it didn't have the strength to fight anymore without this ultimate move. Victreebel has lost his ability to fight. Please change Poké copyright Monday, Ms. Erica. Victreebel, you've tried your best, come back. After taking Victreebel back, Erica threw out her second Poké copyright ball. Gloom go. Stinky. Ash curled his lips at Gloom. Gloom was indeed a troublesome enemy to fight, but Bulbasaur was not afraid of him. Gloom attacks with Stink. Stinky. The yellow gas rushed towards Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur took a deep breath and blew it at the gas that was obviously not easy to deal with. The stench was blown away directly. What? Erica was surprised by Bulbasaur's operation, while Ash explained, "Sorry, the seed Gatling gun is a test of lung capacity. So your Gloom has lost." Sunshine Flame. With the power of the ripples, Bulbasaur's second solar flare was powerful enough to defeat Gloom directly. Gloom is incapable of fighting. Erica looked at Ash's Bulbasaur and said with some embarrassment, "It's not easy. His Bulbasaur can directly use Sun Flame." Just when Erica was in trouble, 3 arrogant laughs were heard. Ha 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 ha. *3 Listening to the silly laughter, Ash knew that the 3 troublemakers were here again. Chapter 77. To be honest, Ash really admires the ability of these 3 funny guys on Team Rocket to stir up trouble. They always come at the right critical moment. After hearing this whisper, Erica couldn't help but ask, "Who are you?" When Ash heard Erica ask this, he silently took out his luxury ball. "Since you asked sincerely, then I will mercifully tell you to prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain. I'm Jessie. I am James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us." That's it, Meow. Just as Meowth was holding something that looked like a bomb button and was about to press it, Ash was already prepared. Kurla petrification skill. Killu. As Kurla began to emit light, Meowth and the other 3 froze in place. "James, ugh. I can't move. Jessie, I know that without you telling me. Meowth, what to do meow. Ash slowly walked towards Team Rocket and threw his luxury ball, while Infernape calmly appeared in the venue and watched Team Rocket quietly. Infernape, sometimes, a little venting can be good for your spirit, so go ahead, Infernape. Use the Ola Ola I taught you. Roar. The power of the waves taught by Ash spread throughout his body. Infernape's eyes instantly became ferocious, and then he punched wildly at a speed that ordinary people could not see clearly. Just as Ash said, the refreshing feeling of beating up rival made Infernape feel more and more comfortable, and the fighting became more and more handy, so much so that in the end Infernape had reached a state of selflessness with this kind of punching, while Gerla tried hard to use petrification and confusion to prevent the rocket trio from being knocked away. Come on Gerla, this is also a form of training. Killu. Gerla nodded, and Ash smiled and held her hand. Gerla instantly felt full of strength when Ash held her hand, and psychic became more stable. After Infernape finally got his fill of beating, he wiped the sweat from his head happily. How's it going, Infernape? Are you feeling better? Roar. Infernape nodded happily, indicating that he felt comfortable. Very good, then the last move is the Ascension Fist. Gerla, untie the restraints. Roar. Killu, boom. As Infernape hit the three members of Team Rocket with his Ascension Punch, the three clowns, who had been beaten black and blue, were directly lifted into the air. A euro a euro a euro a euro a euro. James, that's too much. A sneak attack. Meowth, who is the bad guy, meow. Jessie, who was also beaten black and blue, took out a potion and said, but at least we have achieved our goal. We will take the secret recipe of spring water with us. What a great feeling. It hurts. Asterisk 3 Ash couldn't help but let out a nasty smile as he watched the three funny guys fly away. Erica seemed to have known about this for a long time and said, it seems like you did this on purpose. Zero. Yeah, I hope they like it. Haha, you do the same. At this time, Misty ran over and said, what should we do? Miss Erica's secret recipe has been stolen. Looking at the anxious Misty, Ash and Erica looked at each other, and then couldn't help laughing. Ha 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 ha. Asterisk 2 ha ha ha, no, Misty, your question makes me want to laugh for a long time. Ha ha ha, sorry, but it's true, ha ha ha. Misty felt a little strange seeing Ash and Erica like this. What's wrong? Ash smiled and said, Misty, you know, don't underestimate those of us with high potions and perfumes. Erica, because you never know what my raw materials are, and they stole. Ash and Erica looked at each other and said while holding back their laughter, it's Gloom's extract. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 78. In the end, the battle at the Rainbow Gym ended in vain because of Team Rocket. Everyone can see that Ash's Bulbasaur can destroy Erica's team, not to mention that there is Gerla who can restrain the poison type behind. Here is your rainbow badge. Thank you. After receiving Erica's rainbow badge, Ash took out his bank card and said, the loss of that bottle of extract is also my responsibility, so just consider it as my purchase. No, there's no need. No, 350, this is a matter of principle, and then it's almost time for us to pick up Xiaogang. Thinking about Xiaogang who was still happily playing with Machoke Macamp in the prison, Ash felt that it was time to pick him up, otherwise what would happen if he got hurt? Okay, I won't be polite then. Remember to tell me if you need any flowers. Don't worry, by the way. If you have time, please go to a place where a girl named Melanie is helping me grow some materials. If possible, please help me grow some too. Okay, bye then Ash. Goodbye, Yoshi Telephone Union. Goodbye Miss Erica. Goodbye Misty. Watching Ash Misty leave, Erica smiled, while Gloom on the side shouted in confusion, Stinky. Stinky. Don't worry Gloom, it's not the right time yet, but one day. Stinky, Stinky. I guess he has forgotten. Erica's memory goes back to her childhood, when she first met Gloom, and Gloom helped her drive away a Grimer. But the Grimer met a boy. Wow, that smell, Grimer, are you hungry? Smelly. Boss, he seems really hungry. Then give him some of the cake. Come and eat it. But I personally suggest that you go to other cities. The perfumes in Rainbow City are not suitable for you. Grimer was a little dazed as he looked at the cake Ash handed to him. This was the first time someone gave him food as a gift. Don't be shy, eat. But don't scare others next time. I'll tell you a place where you should be able to find a good living environment. It's considered the designated industrial zone of Alliance. Smelly. Finally, under Ash's introduction, Grimer left with the cake, and Ash looked at Erica and said, this place is indeed not suitable for Grimer. Goodbye, dividing line. When Ash and Misty came to the police station to vouch for Xiaogang, he was finally freed from the loving embrace of Machoke and Macamp. Xiaogang, what do you think about what happened today? The police station is so scary. Big sister is still the best. Asterisk and Misty held her head helplessly and said, sure enough, he is not reflecting at all. Xiaogang looked at Junsha and said, Miss Junsha, I'm sorry to have caused you trouble. I will treat you to a meal. Pikachu with Thunderbolt. Pikachu. With the powerful thunder shock, Xiaogang was charred by electricity, and Ash said to Misty expressionlessly, if you don't do this, Xiaogang will be assaulting the police. Good job Ash. Misty said there was nothing wrong with Ash's behavior. And Junsha pretended not to see Pikachu and Diane Xiaogang and said to Ash with a smile, Ash, you are going to the Yo-Yo-Yo 0.5 area later. If you can, please help my cousin. There have been cases of missing children there recently and the Poké Copyright Monday are listless. Missing children and listless Poké Copyright Monday? I understand. I will help. Thank you. Junsha said as he kissed Ash. Well, it's okay, but if possible, you may need to make some preparations here, Sister Junsha. Prepare. Yes, after all. I feel like there seems to be a bigger conspiracy. Chapter 79. Yo-Yo-Yo District is a city with many high-rise buildings, and here there are incidents of Poké Copyright Monday losing strength and children going missing. Although the mainland hotel also began to assist, the specific situation is still unknown. Fortunately, with the help of the mainland hotel, the missing child was found quickly. But the cause of all this is still unknown. So this all started 3 days ago. Ash was no longer wearing his travel outfit, but a special outfit for trouble, and Pikachu, Meowth and Chansey beside him also wore custom-made suits. This incident was definitely not simple in Ash's opinion. Misty was sitting on the sofa beside her, holding her 25 horsa, watching Ash and the staff of the Continental Hotel, the police officers led by Junsha, and the medical staff led by Joy having a meeting. As for Xiao Gang, he had been taken away for harassing public officials. The Continental Hotel Fitness Park was waiting for him. Yes, boss. It started 3 days ago. The only clue is that 3 days ago, Solop of the Poka Copyright Monday fan club evolved into Solop, which gave them a new way to sleep. Some people say it may be because it has an effect on people. Don't be ridiculous. Hypnosis is universal to both humans and Poka Copyright Monday. And a newly evolved Solibo can have such a large impact? A champion Solibo? Junsha knocked on the table and asked, so what do you think, Ash? This is definitely not a simple matter, but what about the Poka Copyright Monday fan club? Maybe we should go take a look. Ash looked at the manager of the Continental Hotel and said, prepare a tuxedo for Misty. We need to sneak in next. Yes. Misty pointed at herself in surprise when she heard Ash say that. Hey? Me? Yes, trust me, there will be no problem after I dress up. Dividing line. The Poka Copyright Monday fan club welcomed several new members today. One is an elegant man wearing a monocle, one is his female companion, and the others are Poka Copyright Monday wearing suits and princess dresses. Hello Mr. Sebastian, welcome. I'm sorry to bother you, but I heard there are psychic Poka Copyright Monday Solop and Solop, so I wanted to come and take a look. My girlfriend is a little upset because of this, please don't mind, because she wants to see Water Poka Copyright Monday. The man called Sebastian gently expressed his apology for the intrusion, and his girlfriend, although she looked unhappy, still said politely, I'm sorry my man has troubled you, he came here as soon as he heard there were new evolved Poka Copyright Monday. Ha ha ha, I understand. Are these Poka Copyright Monday all yours, Mr. Sebastian? The gentleman was also smiling as he looked at Meowth and Pikachu in suits, and Chansey and Kurla in skirts. Yes, Meowth is my personal butler. Meow, I'm very sorry to disturb my master. Meowth was very gentlemanly at this time, even wearing a monocular like Ash. Oh. Mr. Meowth can actually talk. Yes, it allows me to communicate with my Poka Copyright Monday very well. It's great to have Meowth around. It is my pleasure to be your master. The gentleman also smiled and said, it's amazing. It's really a lot easier to have Meowth as butler, Mr. Sebastian. Yes, then may I ask if I can go and see Solop and Solib? Of course. Sorry to have kept you waiting so long, please come in. Ash and Misty then went into room 633, and Ash whispered to Misty, remember, if they drink alcohol, then they are definitely problematic, and if they drink juice, then they are real Poka Copyright Monday fan club members. Hey? Why? Because a true Poka Copyright Monday fan club member would never allow himself to neglect Poka Copyright Monday because of drinking. I see. By the way, Ash, you were amazing just now. You'll get used to it after participating more often. I've learned etiquette. All you need to do is role-play as a female companion who is in a bad mood. Meowth and I will observe them. Please hold Pikachu for a while. If anyone asks you a question, just talk about Water Poka Copyright Monday. No problem. Misty instantly became confident when she heard about the Water Poka Copyright Monday. After all, Water Poka Copyright Monday is her favorite. Chapter 80. Everyone, today we welcome a new friend, Mr. Sebastian, and his female companion Misty. Next to them is Mr. Sebastian's butler Mr. Meowth. Pikachu, Chansey and Kurla. Following the gentleman's words, all the members of the Poka Copyright Monday fan club present looked over, and when they saw Ash's Meowth and Pikachu, their eyes lit up and they quickly gathered around. Oh. Meowth's fur is so shiny. Chansey is also great and seems to have taken good care of her since she was little. Pikachu is cuter. Kurla is just like a little princess. Pika. Lucky ma'am, would you like me to pour you some water? Looking at the reactions of these people, Ash has confirmed that they are indeed members of the real Poka Copyright Monday fan club. So what exactly caused the previous trouble? Thinking of this, Ash walked towards Soribur and asked, have you noticed anything strange recently? Kashiwa? Kashiwa. Piyu. Piyu. Kashiwa. Kashiwa. At first, Solibur shook his head, but after Solibur reminded him, Solibur seemed to remember something. Ash said to Meowth, Meowth, did Solibur and the others say anything? Yes my lord, they said that a while ago there was a bunch of jarheads wandering around here and it seemed that every time they used psychic, there was a strange feeling. Oh, these jarheads? So these jarheads are the culprits that make my beloved Poka Copyright Monday uncomfortable. It is very likely so. The gentleman couldn't help but ask, Mr. Sebastian, is there anything I can do for you? Yes, to be honest, my Poka Copyright Monday have been acting strange recently, and Kurla also said she felt something strange, so I thought if it was another psychic Poka Copyright Monday, I would be able to tell you something. I didn't expect that I would win. I see. Then, Sulapu, can you still remember that something is wrong with Hajime? Oak. General. Solibur and Solip pointed to the ground together. Underground in our club. Ash thought for a moment and then said, it seems someone is using the Poka Copyright Monday fan club as a cover, I think it's best to notify Ken Shazwang and the others. That's right. You are absolutely right. We must not tolerate the use of our club. You have to know that all those present are rich people, and they will not let it go if they are used as a scapegoat. Ash, on the other hand, came over to Misty, who was holding Pikachu and discussing Water Poka Copyright Monday with the ladies. I found the reason. Someone is causing trouble underground. I need to notify Junsha. How about we go and see some water Poké copyright Monday later? You said it, don't break your promise. Misty was now in character, acting out her role as the angry female partner so vividly that Ash couldn't help but sigh that girls were really good actors for doctors. Soon, Juncha and others who had been prepared arrived after receiving the alarm, and staff from the mainland hotel were also among them. We have received a report that there is a culprit behind the disappearances. Yes. According to what Solip and Soliver said, it should be underground. After confirming that there was a problem underground, Ash nodded and threw out his Poké copyright ball. A Euro come out Charmeleon. Roar. Charmeleon came out and roared, and Ash pointed at ground and said, Charmeleon use flamethrower. N. Charmeleon spit up a blazing flame from his mouth, and then a large hole appeared in the ground, revealing a machine shop with many instruments in front of everyone. I see. It is very likely that some kind of instrument was made here, and this instrument accidentally resonated with the psychic Poké copyright Monday Soliver's hypnosis, which is why all this trouble was caused, right? Queen. Ash looked at a purple-haired lady, who asked in a somewhat strange tone, me? What do I know? Come on, haven't you noticed that you've always been out of place? And haven't you noticed that everyone is kind of avoiding you? What does this represent? Next time you sneak into our club, please investigate carefully. You are the only one who has opened the wine in the whole venue. A true member of the Poké copyright Monday club is. Everyone present, including Misty, loudly spoke out Ash's last words. You are absolutely not allowed to neglect your Poké copyright Monday because of drinking. Asterisk N. Chapter 81. Haha, ha ha ha. Well done. I didn't expect that I would be exposed because of this. So, where's my Poké copyright ball? When the purple-haired lady was about to throw her Poké copyright ball, she found that it was missing. Meowth was very gentlemanly, holding a tray and said, Madam, do you need my help to open the wine? And on Meowth's tray were 3 Poké copyright Monday balls. The lady looked at Meowth and couldn't help but said, it's you. You opened the bottle for me on purpose. That's right, ma'am, your eyes are really weird. You're always looking at the people around you instead of me and Chansey. It's hard to imagine that you're a member of the Poké copyright Monday fan club. Juncha also came over and said, just surrender, the Milky Way group can view Suxing of the Shizi Shenchi region. Suxing looked at Juncha and the others who were surrounding him and said, do it. Several members of the Galaxy group with pot-cut hair appeared and threw their Poké copyright balls at the same time. Go Dustix and use the 920 paralysis powder. Go Houndour with the flamethrower. Go Coughing with smoke. Seeing these jarheads finally show up, Ash pushed his monocle and threw out his luxury ball, saying, how rude. Pidgeot will use Hurricane to fight back their attacks. Compare as Pidgeot's huge wings flapped, all the incoming attacks were bounced back. And because the 3 moves were too quick, Dustix, Houndour and Coughing were first met with Stun Spore, then choked by Smokescreen, and finally with the addition of Fire, boom. As the explosion occurred, the 3 Poké copyright Monday lost their combat power, and Ash said to Junsa, Ms. Junsa, please arrest the people in the factory and stop the machines. I will leave this to you. I understand, Mr. Sebastian, thank you for your help. Everyone else, follow me. Charmeleon, go and assist Miss Juncha. Kvi, check. Charmeleon nodded and followed Juncha to the underground factory. Ash took out the handcuffs and slowly walked towards Suxing and said, Ma'am, please don't let me use force, okay? Looking at Ash at this moment, Xiao Shu said speechlessly, don't be so gentle to the enemy. As Suxing watched Ash approaching slowly, he could only helplessly shout, hey, how long are you going to wait? Of course you were captured. A red-haired woman slowly walked out, then she looked at Ash and said, excuse me, gentlemen, I can't let you capture my partner, go Golbat, use wing attack. I won't let you touch my man. Starmie, use the water gun. Check. As Misty's Starmie appeared, a powerful water gun directly opened Golbat. The guy then ordered, then take care of Starmie first. Use Leech Life. Starmie disturbed her with strange lights. What? As Starmie used a strange beam of light, Golbat became dizzy, and Misty took this opportunity to say, now. Use Psy Wave. Check. With Starmie's final blow, Golbat fell to the ground helplessly, and Starmie had to take back Golbat and said, I didn't expect him to be so strong. Go, Dongshi Cat. Use Slash. Kurla Confusion. Killu. As soon as the fat Dongshi Cat appeared, it was controlled by Kurla's Confusion. At this moment, a voice said, Nura, go get Jupiter's treasure ball back. Then a figure quickly approached Meowth, and its sharp claws grabbed Meowth, but Meowth calmly stretched out his claws to block the attack. Nura. I'm sorry, I can't give you this. Then Meowth kicked Nura away. How is it possible? The man who sent out Nura looked at his Nura in disbelief as he was easily defeated, and the fellow star Suxing looked at him worriedly and said, Lord Cyrus. Hearing them say this, Ash smiled and said, what a big fish, the leader of the Southern Region Galaxy Group. As Ash finished speaking, countless Juncha and police officers appeared, and they were followed by a group of Poké Copyright Monday led by Arcanine. Cyrus, you are surrounded. Just surrender. All your accomplices have been arrested. Seeing this, Cyrus unhappily took out his other Poké Copyright ball. Tisk, Gyarados, come out. Chansey Sunshine Blaze. Lucky. As soon as Gyarados appeared, he was greeted by sunlight flames that were fired without any accumulation due to deep breathing. Then, Gyarados was severely damaged in Cyrus' speechless gaze, and Chansey followed up with an egg bomb without Ash saying anything. Boom. With a loud bang, Gyarados fainted on the ground and Chansey quickly rushed to Cyrus and slapped him on the neck. Hateful. Cyrus fainted after saying this, and just as he was about to go over, he was grabbed by Ash from behind. I'm sorry you are under arrest. And Suxing was also tied up by Misty and Meowth. As for those rich people before, they had already gone to the underground factory with Juncha and the others to help. At this point, the executive of the Galaxy Group was unexpectedly captured by the Kanto region. It's not that Cyrus is weak, but that Ash is too strong, and Cyrus's role has not ended yet, he will run away. Chapter 82. The truth is revealed now. The problems in the Yo-Yo-Yo Zone were caused by the secret production equipment of the Galactic Core. The reason why they chose the underground of the Poké Copyright Monday fan club is because the members of the Poké Copyright Monday fan club are all upper-class people, and it is difficult for the police to investigate in detail. The reason why Suxing pretended to be a member of the Poké Copyright Monday fan club was to monitor whether anyone noticed anything wrong. Since the Jinga are a cross-regional criminal organization, they need to be handed over to the Sinnoh region for processing. Oh, I think the Poké Copyright Monday Alliance in the Sinnoh region will take all the credit. Juncha was somewhat dissatisfied after receiving the transfer notice. This person was captured in Kanto, so why should he be transferred to Sinnoh? Juncha of Sinnoh also revealed the details, so he was afraid that the credit would be snatched away this time. Ash did not comment on this. What kind of shady tricks had he not seen in all these years of doing business? It was probably some senior executive of Sinnoh Alliance who wanted to take the credit. But did he really think he had no tricks left? Some things are not for you to eat. Then Ash came to visit the prison. As Sebastian did, he came to Cyrus' cell and said, "Hello, Mr. Cyrus. I came here to tell you something. Please don't come to the Kanto region to cause trouble next time, okay?" Cyrus looked at Ash and couldn't help but ask, "Oh? Are you sure I can escape?" "No, under normal circumstances I would have taken out the Poké copyright ball you have been hiding in your underwear, so the police should have just searched you directly. But now the Sinnoh region seems to be trying to steal the credit from my sister Juncha, you know? I hate this kind of guy, I hate him very much, so this time I will pretend that I didn't see the Poké copyright ball in your underwear, but please run away in Sinnoh when you run away, otherwise I don't mind making you disappear completely." When Ash mentioned Misty, a murderous look flashed across his eyes. As the leader of the Galaxy group, Cyrus could not fail to understand. So he was silent for a moment and then said, "Okay. We were disrespectful this time. We will not take the initiative to provoke your organization in the future." "That's great. We have reached an agreement. Mr. Cyrus, please remember, please don't come to Kanto to cause trouble, otherwise I don't mind mobilizing the power of the Continental Hotel to wipe you out." Tisk, the Continental Hotel? I see. After hearing about the Continental Hotel, Cyrus realized what kind of existence he had provoked this time. As the leader of the Galaxy group, Cyrus still understood the real horror of the Continental Hotel. It was not unfair for me to suffer this time. I'm glad we can reach a consensus. Here are your Poké copyright balls. I have already swapped them. Once you arrive at Sinnoh, please go ahead and do whatever you want. Ash then returned Cyrus' Poké copyright ball to them, and when Ash was giving the Poké copyright ball to Cyrus, Cyrus grabbed Ash and then bit his lips. "I remember you, Sebastian. Now it's your turn to remember me." This is what the guy said to Ash while licking his lips after he let go of Ash. Request flower 0. Ash elegantly took out a handkerchief and wiped her mouth, saying, "It's my pleasure, buddy, right? I'll be back next time we meet." Then Ash said to Cyrus, "Please remember your words, otherwise I don't mind making you mulch." After Ash left, Hoxing looked at the place where Ash left and couldn't help but mutter, "Why isn't he from our Galaxy group?" Suxing looked at Hoxing in shock for a moment and then said in disbelief, "Hoxing, you are not in love with that guy, are you?" How? How is it possible? Even if he is the type I like, I will. Master Cyrus, let's escape on our own and ignore the bewitched fellow." Cyrus covered his face in silence. Was his subordinate going to be poached? When Ash comes out of jail, he takes off his glasses, his suit and his hat. A red shirt. Perfect. Ah, I'm so tired. Okay, Juncha sister, you guys can just wait and watch the joke. I hope that guy who stole the credit doesn't cry when he gets slapped in the face. Juncha on the side coughed and said, "Ahem, I don't know what you are talking about." "Ah. That's right, Sister Juncha doesn't know anything. Then I'll go find my companions." "Well, be careful on the road, Ash." "Don't worry, I'll pay attention." Chapter 83. When Ash returned to the Poké Copyright Monday Center, Misty, who had already changed her clothes, was waiting for him. "Ash, you're back. Nurse Joy has a Poké Copyright Monday that needs your attention." What's wrong?" Then Joy came over holding a Seduc and said, "Look, this is the child. It seems to still have a headache." Ash looked at Seduc who was reported by Joy, and he stared at him, while Seduc just looked at Ash and called out from time to time. "Nest? Nest." Ash silently stretched out his hand to Meowth, who understood and took out an apple. When Ash put the apple in front of Seduc, Seduc's eyes kept staring at the apple, and he kept looking at it as Ash's hand moved. Finally, Ash handed the apple to Seduc, looked at Misty and Joy and said, "This guy, how should I put it, his IQ is a bit questionable. *2 Although I don't want to say this, but even among Seduc who is prone to headaches, this guy is a top-notch IQ guy." Ash touched Seduc's head and the guy actually rubbed it comfortably. This may be caused by his strong psychic, but it makes his brain even more confused and even his IQ lower. *2 Joy's mouth twitched. If Ash could say that this Seduc had a problem with its IQ, then this Seduc was really a top-notch one. Ash touched Seduc's head and said, "If this creature is not adopted by a trainer with a good temper, it will probably have a hard time staying alive. If it is adopted by a trainer with a bad temper, it will most likely be made into duck stew." Click, click. Seduc drooled as he looked at Ash, and Ash wiped the saliva off it helplessly and said, "Silly child, the one who was stewed into soup is you." After saying that, looking at Seduc who was still drooling, Ash was almost crying because of his stupidity. It was a miracle that this child could survive until now. Nest. Nest. Seduc waited for Ash to wipe his saliva, then looked at the luxury ball on Ash's waist and touched it gently. Then the luxury ball became bigger, and the stupid Seduc touched it again and captured it with a flash of red light. Asterisk and Meowth looked at the scene and opened his mouth, and finally could only say, "It's a miracle that it's still alive." Pikapi. Beyond miracle. Lucky. Ash's father was almost crying because of his stupidity. Misty and Joy looked at this scene in silence, and finally understood how serious the IQ problem Ash was talking about was. Looking at his luxury ball, Ash silently released Psyduck, but Psyduck still looked at Ash with its stupid eyes. Nest. Psyduck, you are my Poké copyright Monday now, understand? Nest. Looking at the puzzled Psyduck, Ash turned his head reluctantly and cut some fruits, placing them on the ground one by one. Psyduck picked them up and ate them one by one until he walked up to Ash and looked at the apple in Ash's hand. Ash was really moved to tears by his stupidity, and hugged Psyduck and said, "Okay. Kid, you should follow me from now on. I am really moved to tears by your stupidity." Nest. Seeing that Psyduck still had no idea, the trainers present shed tears. This duck is so stupid. Finally, this silly and cute Psyduck was conquered by Ash. Now, the Poké copyright Monday following Ash include Pikachu Meowth who can't score, Chansey, Curla who sticks to Ash, Pidgeot, Beedrill who can evolve with Bond, Charmeleon who is ready to evolve again, Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Infernape who are constantly training themselves, and Psyduck who can make Ash cry with stupidity. As for Ash's Giant Hypervelocity and Giant Tentacruel, Giant Hypervelocity is still with Ash. Giant Tentacruel was sent back to Professor Oak by Ash to supplement nutrition after Lusamine and the others went back. After all, Giant Tentacruel was raised by the three funny guys of Team Rocket with a thing called Chinese 3 cups of vinegar, and it has some nutrition. You. By the way, Ash, you looked very handsome when you dressed as a gentleman before. Misty, you look pretty good as a female companion. How about a member of the Poké Copyright Monday fan club? They are all very nice people. It turns out they like Poké Copyright Monday so much. Otherwise why is it called the Poké Copyright Monday fan club? Looking at Ash and Misty who had completely left the yo-yo-yo area, Meowth couldn't help but say, "Boss, it seems like we forgot someone in 1.8. Who did you forget?" Asterisk 2 Xiao Gang. Asterisk 2 Looking at the two people who just remembered Xiao Gang, Meowth shook his head speechlessly. At this time, in the fitness park inside the Continental Hotel, a group of bulk-up brothers and sisters were sweating hard, and of course their terrifying muscles were constantly stretching. Xiao Gang was trembling like a weak chicken as he was surrounded and trained by a group of mock oaks. Ash. Misty. Come and save me. It feels so bad. Chapter 84. In a dim room, a young girl was staring at a photo absent-mindedly. It was a photo of her and a boy. The boy was holding a lucky egg, with a Pico standing on his shoulder and a Meowth beside him. She was holding a Vulpix and leaning on the boy's shoulder with a smile. Woo. A Vulpix licked the girl gently, and the girl finally responded. Sorry Vulpix, I lost my mind again. Woo. I know Ash will be fine, absolutely. Thinking about the live broadcast on TV that was cut off halfway through, Vivi's heart suddenly tightened. The giant Tentacruel's tentacle attack could be fatal. Vivi didn't dare to call Ash or listen to the news outside because she was afraid of hearing bad news about Ash. Ash, you must be okay. Please, you must be safe. 25 Dividing Line. Beauty Street is a place where there are many Poké Copyright Monday breeders, and Xiao Gang wants to become the world's best breeder, so when he comes here, he plans to visit a legendary figure in the breeder world. It's almost there. I'll be able to see my idol soon. I feel like a flower about to greet the morning sun. Looking at the lewd Xiao Gang, Ash Misty moved away from him speechlessly. Ash, aren't you tired like this? In order to pretend that she didn't know Xiao Gang, Misty could only change the topic, and the topic was Ash, who was fully armed at this time. Curla sat on his left shoulder, Pikachu sat on his right shoulder, and Psyduck was carrying a high-tech backpack. Chansey also took a small cake to tease Psyduck. And Meowth was even more naughty and ate the cake in front of Psyduck, which made the stupid duck very anxious. No, this weight is nothing. Why are you carrying Psyduck? Oh. Psyduck, let him breathe some fresh air. Good air should be helpful to his brain. Maybe. Thank you for your hard work, Ash. No, it's nothing. I happen to have an acquaintance here. She can do massage therapy with me using Psyduck's head as an example. Acquaintance. Yet. Xiao Gang, do you want to go to your idol's place first or come with me to meet my acquaintances? Xiao Gang, who was immersed in a beautiful fantasy at this time, reacted and said, I'm going to see my idol first. I want to become her apprentice. Ash, you go meet your acquaintance first. Seeing Xiao Gang like this, Ash could only shrug and look at Misty and said, then let's go see my acquaintances first, and then we can go to the Poké Copyright Monday Center or the Chinese restaurant. Okay. Then Misty, Ash and Xiao Gang temporarily separated. Xiao Gang kept looking for the store he was looking for, while Ash walked towards his destination with ease. Soon Ash and Misty came to a store, and after entering, Ash saw Vivi was still working and made a gesture to Misty to keep quiet, and Misty nodded in understanding. Ash and Misty then found a seat and sat down, but Ash soon frowned, because Ash found that Vivi's mental contest condition was not very good at this time. Just when Ash was thinking about whether to work for Vivi first, a Vulpix ran over. SHH, Vulpix, don't disturb Vivi yet. Woo. After Vivi finished the beauty treatment for Chansey and let her trainer take her away, Vivi sat down feeling a little lost. It's not like you to be a breeder and not pay attention to your own body, Vivi. Just when Vivi was distracted again, a voice that had haunted her came from beside her, and Ash came over to take her pulse and began to diagnose. You look very bad, what happened? 640 When Ash looked up at Vivi, he found that Vivi was already in tears. Is it really you? Ash. What's wrong with you? What can I do? Didn't you get attacked by a giant Tentacruel on TV before? I'm sure that was you. Looking at the somewhat excited Vivi, Ash grabbed her hand and put it on his face. Touch it, this is a warm person, I'm fine. Ash. With Vivi's cry and laughter, Ash was thrown to the ground by her, and Vivi hugged Ash tightly. I'm so glad you're okay. I'm so glad you're okay. Snap. Along with a petrified figure, Misty looked at Xiao Gang, who was petrified as soon as he entered the room with pity and whispered, it seems that she is a girl who likes Ash. Puff. A sharp sword pierced through the petrified. Xiao Gang. Chapter 85. So the live broadcast was cut off when you saw me being attacked? So you always thought I might be dead. At this time, Vivi's beauty salon had been temporarily closed, and Vivi quietly lay on Ash's legs and told him everything. It turned out that when the giant tentacruel attacked, TV station cut off the live broadcast, and later only some hackers got the video of Ash leading a group of Pokémon copyright Monday to defeat the tentacruel, but even so, they were gagged. It is precisely because of this that Vivi was so distraught because she didn't know what would happen next. Okay, it's just an elite guy, it's easy to deal with him, but it's you. You are seriously lacking in energy and spirit, you need to eat properly to make up for it. Vivi listened to Ash's caring words, turned her head and looked at Ash and said with a smile, I understand, but only now, please don't leave me, okay? Touching Vivi's head, Ash looked at Stephanie who was worried about him and said gently, okay 11 thank you Ash. Then Vivi fell asleep slowly. Before, Vivi didn't even dare to sleep soundly when she was resting, because she was afraid that she would dream about Ash's death. But now the surprise of Ash's appearance made her worries completely disappear, and now she could sleep peacefully. Misty looked at Vivi sleeping on Ash's lap and couldn't help but say, I'm afraid Vivi hasn't had a good sleep in this period. Well, I'm really sorry for her. Looking at Ash, Misty comforted him, don't blame yourself. You didn't know either, did you? Now Ash, all you need to do is help Vivi recover. That's right. The most urgent thing now is to help Vivi recover. Thank you, Misty. I suddenly hope that Steven's diamonds can be delivered soon. I will not let you go, Stephanie, for being so kind to me. Hey. What are you talking about Ash? Misty was confused by Ash's sudden attack, while Ash was massaging Vivi's head and said, Misty, I said before that I'm not a good person. I want to open a big harem, and I will never let go of any good woman, whether it's you or Vivi, I will never let go, do you understand what I mean? Well, good woman or something. This is not a request, but a domineering declaration. Please remember that I am a bad guy. Woo woo. A whimpering sound was heard, and Ash said to the side, Meowth Pikachu Chansey Kurla, Vivi needs a quiet rest environment please help Xiao 11 Meowth, who was holding the tape, smiled and said, no problem, boss. We will stick him into a mummy and make sure he won't attack you. Woohoo. Don't blame Ash for putting love before friendship. After knowing that Vivi and Xiaoliu had a relationship, Xiao Gang refused to listen, which gave Vivi, who was already in a bad mood, a headache. Then Xiao Gang was tied up by Meowth and the others, and then imprisoned with tape. Pikachu and Kurla were the ones who liked to be imprisoned the most. Not long after, several muscular men in Machoke appeared, showing off their muscles. Bossa Euro Ash pointed at the mummified Xiao Gang and said, take him away. Yes. Come on, little baby, let's go to the fitness park. You know you are very famous. Woo-oh. Xiao Gang was then carried away by several muscular men in Machoke. Ash also gently moved Vivi to another position and then walked towards the kitchen. Ash, what are you doing? Cooking, even though I say I'm a bad guy, I'm definitely a good man, Meowth, come and help me. No problem begging. Ash and Meowth then started their own journey as chefs. Chapter 86. In the kitchen, Meowth looked at Ash and asked, Boss, what are we doing? Vivi and Pikachu have the same taste, they both like tomatoes, so let's make Italian meatball and sausage pasta. Oh. Is that it, Meow? That noodle seems to be very popular among the upper class. Meowth is indeed Ash's housekeeper, so she knows very well which dishes of the Continental Hotel are popular among those people. That's right, but considering Vivi's spirit is not very good, we need to add therapeutic drugs, but the taste will be affected. Then just make the pasta portion bigger, Meow. Ash and Meowth looked at each other and said together, it must be in large quantities. Asterisk 2 Ash heated the pot and said, Meowth, contact Waxia restaurant to send the ingredients. I will take care of the preparations first. Got it. Here comes the boss's Western chef uniform and camouflage beard. Thank you. This is how it feels. Soon, with Meowth's help, all the fresh ingredients were delivered, and Chansey and Kurla also helped to move the ingredients in. Misty secretly took a look at what Ash was going to do out of curiosity, and she was surprised by the scene in front of her. Ash, who usually stir-fried all kinds of things over a high fire, took the delicate route this time. Kurla, use confusion to mix the beef and pork in the right proportions. Meowth, help me cut the onions, and Pikachu, choose the best tasting tomatoes. Ash then took the egg from Chansey and broke it while saying, Chansey, help beat the beef and pork again. Lucky. No problem. While Chansey was beating the meat with her strength, Pikachu came over with a few tomatoes. Pikachu. These tomatoes taste the best. I can confirm this based on my years of experience eating tomatoes. Taking the tomato handed to him by Pikachu, Ash used a knife to cut and pull the tomato skin off, then put it aside. Ash picked up a piece of well-beaten beef and pork paste. Pour in the chopped onion, chopped garlic, and the medicine Vivi needs. Add the breadcrumbs that I made by heating freshly baked bread and milk while waiting for the ingredients, squeezing out the excess milk, and then grinding it into small pieces. Perfect. Add chopped parsley, Chansey's eggs, and finally salt and black pepper to taste. Great, boss, you can start now, Meow. Ash then began to carefully stir the ingredients with his hands and mix them evenly together, and then rolled them into small meatballs one by one. While Ash was rolling the meatballs, Vivi came to Misty and whispered, it's my favorite Italian meatball and sausage pasta. Ash still remembers it. Miss Vivi, are you awake? Misty was a little surprised that Vivi actually woke up. Vivi smiled and said, I'm a light sleeper, so I heard everything Ash said. Why? I'm very happy. It turns out that Ash has feelings for me. While Vivi and Misty were talking, Ash had already fried the meatballs and sausages in olive oil. He then used the remaining oil to fry garlic and poured in Pikachu's favorite tomato juice. Then a rich aroma began to waft around, and Ash's stupid duck didn't feel any headache when he smelled it. He ran over happily with his mouth watering. Ash drooled as he watched his stupid duck run over. He put fresh tomatoes in and said, "Seduck, this isn't done yet. Wait a minute, understand? If you don't understand, there's no share for you." Whoa. When Seduck heard that if he didn't understand, he would have no share, he immediately understood everything and stood aside obediently. And Ash was also doing the final steps of pouring in the meatballs and sausages and adding some homemade wine and sugar. Looking at the bright red sauce and meatballs, Ash asked Meowth, "Is the pasta ready?" "No problem." "Very good. Take it out of the pot. The two people who were peeking over there, go wash your hands." Misty and Vivi looked at each other and stuck out their tongues when Ash mentioned that. "You two, this is Italian meatball and sausage pasta. I'm going to mix it up with the bitter flavor that Pidgeot likes. You can eat it while it's hot." Seeing Ash wearing a fake beard to season Pidgeot, Vivi said with a smirk, "Only this kind of attentiveness can take good care of Poké Copyright Monday." Indeed, Ash is very serious about what he does. After saying that, the two of them smiled at each other. The other Poké Copyright Monday had already started to eat the food in front of them. Infernape and Seduck were the fastest eaters. Misty's water Poké Copyright Monday also liked it unexpectedly. What they didn't know was that when the rich smell spread through the crack in the door to the street, many guys with sharp noses had already rushed to Vivi's beauty salon. "I've said it many times, this is a beauty salon, not a restaurant. I'm Vivi's boyfriend, this outfit is just cosplay." This is the nth person Ash has rejected. They all treat this place as a restaurant. Really? What a pity. If you want to eat, please go to Hwasya restaurant. We are just having a normal lunch here. Seduck, wait a moment. I will serve you after I finish speaking. Seeing his stupid duck coming over with a plate, Ash comforted it first. The people who mistook this place for a restaurant couldn't help swallowing their saliva when they saw Seduck eating so much. "I really want to eat it." Seduck looked at the looks in those people's eyes, tilted his head strangely, and then slightly moved the plate behind him. Ash looked at Seduck's reaction and couldn't help but think. It's okay, there's still hope, as long as you know how to protect your food. 4. Chapter 87. By BB. Pidgeot was eating his pasta with a happy and intoxicated look on his face. Since he followed his master, his food was perfect and he could eat his favorite bitter food every day. While Pidgeot was happily eating his bitter pasta, Seduck came over and stared at Pidgeot, drooling. "Bye. What's wrong?" "Nest. Smells good. Bye. Try it." Pidgeot gave Seduck a meatball, and the stupid duck actually ate it. Then, along with the bitter taste specially made by Xiao Chansey, Seduck's face turned blue with bitterness. Looking at Seduck running back and forth in pain, Meowth shook his head. "You idiot, the bitter taste that the boss made for Pidgeot is no joke." Vivi looked at Seduck and couldn't help but ask, "Is this the Seduck that Ash mentioned, whose IQ is low because of severe headaches caused by the overpowering psychic?" "Yes, it has made Ash cry." "The copy. He can make Ash cry. He is pretty good." At this time, Ash, who was being talked about by Misty and Vivi, was looking at the three uninvited guests. "Excuse me, what can I do for you three?" Jessie, who was wearing strange clothes, angrily said to Ash, who was wearing Earl Dervish clothes, "What's the matter? This is a beauty street. Why are you opening a restaurant here? All our customers have been lost because of you." "James, right. Do you know this is unfair competition?" Meowth from Team Rocket looked at the two guys speechlessly. "Really, I don't know what to say. Excuse me, this outfit is just a disguise for cooking. I'm just cooking for my girlfriend. What's the problem?" Team Rocket. Asterisk 3. The three members of Team Rocket quickly jumped away and looked at Ash and asked, "Who are you?" As Team Rocket finished speaking, a familiar BGM sounded in their ears. "Ash, since you asked sincerely. Meowth, I will be merciful and tell you. 3. Jessie, don't copy our opening line, a hole. Ash, to prevent the world from being destroyed. Meowth, to protect world peace. Ash, implement justice with love and truth. Meowth, a cute and attractive gourmet. Ash, I'm Ash. Meowth, I am Meowth. Ash, we are the big bosses on the trip. Meowth, a golden, glittering future awaits us. Pikachu Chansey, lucky. That's it." Asterisk 3. After seeing Ash take off his disguise, the three members of Team Rocket immediately took attacking stances, and Ash said gloomily, "I'm just cooking for my girlfriend. Don't you think this is a restaurant? Are you kidding me?" Hearing Ash say this, James also said in dissatisfaction, "You are the one. You suppress the taste when you cook. You bring so much trouble to others. We still need to make money." Ash was a little surprised to hear them say this and asked, "Didn't you say you had a lot of funding?" "It's true that there are a lot, but some of the machines don't have enough funding." Jessie was also a little helpless. After all, making machines is indeed expensive, and James and Meowth nodded helplessly and said, "Yeah, I can't even collect my favorite bottle caps." Actually it's more because Jessie used it to buy hairspray. Plan. Looking at Meowth lying on the ground and Jessie Ash with smoke coming out of her fist, she silently looked at the Abra snake and gas egg behind theme Euro. "So you guys started to harm Poké Copyright Monday in 1.8? Your non-mainstream style is only suitable for shamit or rock music." Asterisk 2. James, I'm telling you. You can knock us away. But you can't insult our beauty. Jessie, yes. This is our interpretation of beauty. Ash looked at the two and said, "In that case, we can only have a competition. Come on. A battle for the beauty of Poké Copyright Monday. Come on." Asterisk 2. Chapter 88. Welcome everyone to the Beauty Street Beauty War competition. I think everyone can't wait to start. That's right. Asterisk and the three members of Team Rocket were looking at the situation in bewilderment. Just after they agreed to play with Ash, a group of people appeared and carried them away and dressed them up. Then they were taken to the competition venue, and Ash was waiting for them across from them. The way to compete is very simple, that is to make Poké Copyright Monday beautiful in your own way, and you can use any materials you want. Jesse James touched the material prepared for them and would not let go. Jesse, this feel. James, this is the fabric of our dreams. Ash looked at the two of them and couldn't help but say, you guys are really knowledgeable, that's right. These are the top quality fabrics. Come on, let's have a fair fight. Little devil. Let me show you how powerful we are. That's right. This is our show. Then Jesse and James began to use the fine materials to dress up Abraham and coughing, while Ash looked at the Poké copyright Monday he was responsible for this time, his own stupid duck. Meowth, you take care of one part, and I'll be responsible for massaging Seduck's head, hey. Seduck's massage should be left to me. Ash, you just need to take care of the herbal medicine that you are best at. Just as Ash looked at Seduck helplessly, Vivi came over and started massaging Seduck's head. Ash looked at Vivi and asked, your body. It's okay, Ash, your medicine has already cured me. What was really bad before was my mental state, but it's fine now. Besides, I really want to help Poké copyright Monday with Ash again. Looking at Vivi, Ash smiled and said, okay, then I'll leave the massage to you, and I'll be in charge of the medicinal diet for this duck. Oh. Seduck looked at Ash strangely, not quite understanding what he meant, while Ash patted his head and said, you're in for a treat. Oh. Then Ash patted the container next to him, and rows of knives and pots and pans appeared. Team Rocket, my specialty is gourmet food. Food that will make Poké copyright Monday feel happy from the bottom of their hearts after eating it. Then, with Team Rocket looking scared, Ash started cooking with knife skills, while Vivi started massaging Seduck based on her previous observations of him. Meowth started red. Soon both sides completed their preparations. Snake and Coughing from Team Rocket were dressed up in fancy clothes, while Ash's Seduck was wearing his clothes and happily eating the fish stew that Ash made for him. Afterwards, with the audiences voting, Ash and Team Rocket were evenly matched. After all, although Team Rocket's costumes were flashy, some people still liked them, and the beauty brought by the happiness of Ash's Seduck also attracted many people. I didn't expect it to be evenly matched. Ash was a little surprised at the result, while Vivi smiled and said, it's okay, Ash, after all, everyone has different aesthetic views, and it's normal to have such a result, but the real happiness is when we take care of Poké copyright Monday together, isn't it? Ah, yes, taking care of Poké copyright Monday is a happy thing in itself, even if it is taking care of a heartless and stupid duck like me. Ash just smiled as he watched Seduck happily eating the fish stew. However, Ash's acceptance of this result did not mean that Jessie would accept it. She looked at Ash's Seduck and yelled, what a joke. My ape snake is the same as that duck? Then let's use our strength to decide. Come on, ape snake, bite. Check. Hearing Jessie's order, the Abramovich rushed towards Seduck with its mouth open. Seduck was stunned for a moment when he saw the Abramovich rushing towards him with its mouth open, then he protected the stewed fish by his side with his eyes emitting blue light. Check. Arbor Snake was directly frozen in midair, and Jessie suffered the same treatment. What's going on? Why can't I move? Looking at Jessie and the Abramovich who couldn't move, Ash said speechlessly, my Seduck is a foodie. He thought your Abramovich was trying to steal food when it opened its mouth and rushed towards him. This move is petrification. Ash was speechless. His Seduck actually used a psychic-type trick to protect the food. Seduck's eyes flashed again, and the snake flew back and hit Jessie, then flew away. What a disgusting feeling watching the flying Jessie. Ash touched Seduck's head and said, very impressive, Seducko. Ash could only shrug helplessly at Seduck who still didn't understand anything. Then he looked at James and said, since it's a tie, I'll admit that you are both beautiful. By the way, I'll give you the materials. James smiled and said, really? Thank you so much. Let's go find Jessie first. Bye little ghost. Meowth of Team Rocket also held a fish in his mouth and said, thanks for the fish, kid. Bye then. What a great feeling. Asterisk 2. Chapter 89. Have you packed everything? I'll have someone look after your store for you. No problem, I'm ready here, let's go Ash, Misty. In Misty's shop, Misty is packing things with Vivi, and the reason is that Vivi is going to travel with Ash. For Vivi, traveling is very simple, just take Vulpix in her own things. As for her parents, Vivi only needs to inform them. This is also to avoid Vivi's parents not being there when they visit her. Then we will travel together from now on. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Vivi. Seeing Vivi like this, Ash smiled and said, I am Ash. I'm Misty. The three of them looked at each other and smiled, while Seduck looked at him strangely, then lay down on Ash's backpack with peace of mind. Meowth looked at the harmonious atmosphere among the three and couldn't help but ask Pikachu beside him, do you think we should tell the boss that he seems to have forgotten someone, Meow? Pikapi. It would be best if that pervert stayed in the fitness park. That's right. How could Ash really forget Xiaogang, even though Xiaogang was always causing trouble? Of course, what Ash didn't know was that Xiaogang had been threatened by his own men, and it was a group of big sisters in the gym who threatened him. Listen, kid. We all see the relationship between Vivi and Ash. They were a good couple when they were in school. Don't think about breaking them up. That's right. Xiaogang you're while trembling, retorted, isn't Ash in the Poké Copyright Monday research class? The elder sister smiled when she heard what Xiaogang said and said, oh, you mean that, after Ash finished his studies, he defeated those theoretical people and went to school normally. Boss Ash also got to know Vivi from that time. So you've all known Ash for a long time. Of course. We have witnessed with our own eyes how Ash has trained his skinny little body to become a real man. Okay, Machoke, let this kid know the charm of muscles. Go away. Don't come over here. Dividing line what's wrong, Xiaogang? You look like you've been hugged by countless Machokes with love. On the way of traveling, Ash looked at Xiaogang who looked weak and felt a little strange, while Xiaogang walked here as if he had no soul. Stop talking Ash, I'm almost drained. Seeing Xiaogang like this, Vivi couldn't help but say, no way. Xiaogang, do you like Machoke? Although I heard that someone married Gardevoir and even had a child, Machoke is really When Kurla in the Poka copyright ball heard the case Vivi told, she immediately became excited. Miss Vivi, I don't like machoke. What I like is... Puff. As Ash stuffed a piece of bread into Xiaogong's mouth, Xiaogong's face immediately turned blue. Ash walked while protecting Misty Vivi behind him and said, I know you like beautiful women, but sorry, little Vivi, I will never let go. As for Ash's words, Xiaogang had no answer at all, because the bread Ash made was too bitter. Seeing Ash like this, Vivi smiled and put her hand on Ash's shoulder and said, I'm sorry, Xiaogang, although I am very grateful that you like me, I still like Ash more. After all, we have known each other since childhood. Xiaogang took the bread out of his mouth and said with a bitter face, well, Ash will always be so popular. You're wrong, Xiaogang. Actually, I've known Xiao Xiao and Xiao Zhuo for a long time. Except for Misty, whom I met during my travels, I've only known the others for a while. And do you think Vivi was so pretty when she was a child? She was very judgmental when she was a child. Before Ash could finish his words, Vivi grabbed Ash's mouth and said, please don't say it. The time they spent together was both the happiest time of Vivi's childhood and her dark history. Chapter 90. When Vivi was little, she was a very fat girl, so many people in her class didn't like to play with her, which made her school life very lonely, until one day a boy came. This is Ash, the new student. I hope we can get along well. I'm Ash, don't look for me if I'm busy. Vivi still remembers the look in Xiaoliu's eyes that could scare a child to tears when she first met Xiaoxun. Vivi's thoughts at that time were also very simple. He will probably be isolated like me. In fact, just as Vivi thought, Ash didn't listen carefully in class, but buried his head in writing something, and the teacher didn't care. Years later, it was confirmed that the teacher didn't dare to care. Ash wrote the reasoning process of the prescription, and these ideas were worth a fortune. Two isolated people appear in the same class. Apart from remaining isolated, they may play together. Vivi also became curious about Ash who was always writing. Until one day, Vivi secretly followed Ash during lunch break. Boss, help me. Lucky Egg is angry again. You're holding her the wrong way, right? Forget it, I'll hold her, you go get the milk, Piku, you get some, CFFF, red fruit. Then Vivi saw that Xiaoliu, who always gave people a difficult feeling to get along with in class, was comforting this good luck with a helpless look on his face, while next to him a talking Meowth was warming the milk, and a Piku was constantly searching for fruits on the tree. Meowth, who was warming her breasts, saw Vivi and couldn't help but say, Boss, there's someone here. Ash turned around and saw that it was Vivi, the isolated fat girl in the class, and couldn't help but said, It's Vivi? What's wrong? Ash, what are you doing? Ash looked at the crying Lucky Egg in his arms and said helplessly, This little guy is too clingy to me, so. Good luck. Seeing that Ash didn't coax him anymore, Lucky Egg stopped crying and puffed up his little face to straighten Ash's face, and shouted seriously, Good luck. Good luck. Meowth was speechless after hearing this, what do you mean by don't let Ash daddy look at me? So you little brat is just clinging to the boss. Finding himself exposed, Lucky Egg immediately jumped onto Ash's face and hugged him tightly, while Ash was struggling and said, Stop Lucky Egg, the rock on your stomach is too painful. Meowth Piku, help, the little guy is rebelling. Pie. Here I come. Little one, let go of the boss, meow. How could the Lucky Egg listen to Meowth? The little guy hugged the face of his beloved father Ash tightly and rubbed it continuously, while the round stone in the Lucky Egg's belly was madly teasing Ash's face. Ah, Vivi, please help me too. The stones of the Lucky Eggs are too hard on my face. This silly kid put too much in again. Good luck. Upon hearing that Ash actually asked Vivi for help, Lucky Egg hugged it tighter instantly, and Vivi ran over to help after being stunned for a moment. I'll help. Finally, with the help of Vivi, the chubby girl, Ash was finally free from the torture of the Lucky Egg stone. Thank you, Vivi, you and Meowth, for helping me hold down the Lucky Egg. This little guy has too many pebbles in his pocket. Although she didn't know what Ash was going to do, Vivi still obediently held down the Lucky Egg with Meowth while Ash and Piku stretched out their evil hands towards the Lucky Egg. Good luck. Good luck. Be good, you have too many rocks in your pocket. Piku and I will take them out first and we won't throw them away. Good luck. Chapter 91. Good luck. At the dining table, Lucky Egg was drinking milk with his face puffed up angrily, while Ash Meowth Piku Vivi was eating cake and chatting. So you're curious about why I always disappear at noon, so you followed me secretly. Yes, I'm so sorry. Seeing Vivi apologize, Ash waved his hands and said, It's okay, it's all small things. You're not going to do anything bad. Vivi was relieved to see that Ash was not angry anymore. She then looked at the Lucky Egg that was drinking milk angrily and Meowth and Piku that were eating cake and asked curiously, Are Piku Meowth and Lucky Egg both here Poka copyright Monday, Ash? Yes, they followed me a long time ago. I'm the boss's second Poka copyright Monday, meow. Pie. I'm number one. Looking at Piku and the others, Vivi said with some envy, It's great that Ash has his own companion. Seeing Vivi like this, Ash smiled and said, It's as if I'm not your partner. Vivi was a little surprised to hear Ash say this, Hey? Really? Isn't this natural? Otherwise, why would I treat you to cake? I also have a partner. As she spoke, the little fat girl Vivi actually started crying, and Ash saw this and wiped her tears, hugged her and said, It's okay, we'll play with you from now on good. After that, Ash and Vivi became friends. At the same time, Vivi also went to the gym to exercise under Ash's leadership. The muscular sisters in the gym watched Ash and Vivi grow while exercising. These sisters later joined the security department of Ash's company. After exercise, Vivi's plump figure became slim, while Ash didn't have much change but he started to build muscles. Vivi, how are you getting along with Vulpix? Ash, who had just finished exercising, wiped his sweat and asked Vivi about the condition of Vulpix, who they had lured with food. When Vivi mentioned Vulpix, she smiled and said, Vulpix is a euro doing well now. I plan to take her out for a walk in the next few days. This is all thanks to your recipe, Ash. Hehe, I still have a say in food. I'll teach you new dishes when I have time. And I won't sacrifice my mouth just for exercise. The invention of low-calorie cake is absolutely right. I agree. This is great news for Stephanie. By the way, Vivi, are you planning to be a breeder in the future? That's right, because I want the Poké Copyright Monday to be happy. What about you, Ash? Me? Money, of course. Vivi was not surprised to hear Ash say this, but smiled and said, this is Ash's answer. By the way, Ash, there seem to be more people around me recently. A euro, please give me flour €1 at this point. Vivi secretly glanced at Ash, and Ash said without any worry, it's okay, I just started to do this because you've become prettier. If I really wanted to be friends with you, I would have done it when you were still a little fat girl. Ash, can you stop talking about the fat girl? Even I don't want to recall the dark history. Looking at Vivi who was smiling a little scary, Ash smiled and stood up and put his forehead against hers and said softly, that is not some dark history, but our memory. You are you, whether you are fat or thin, it's the same in my eyes, you are Vivi, that's all. Vivi blushed a little when her forehead touched with Ash's, but she smiled after hearing what Ash said. Yes, no matter how she changes, she will always be the same in Ash's eyes, right? Thank you Ash, it was great to meet you. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Meowth, let me go. Ash's dad is going to be taken away by a bad woman. Looking at the lucky egg that was constantly fluttering in his arms, Meowth said helplessly, okay, lucky egg, don't bother the boss, we will just quietly eat cake, drink Multank's milk and watch the show. Pie. Yeah, just take a look. Good luck. No. Ash's dad. Look over here. Chapter 92. Ash and Vivi have always had a good relationship, which did not change until Vivi had to move away, and the contact between the two has never been broken, which is why Vivi paid attention to the tentacruel invasion. Vivi's family actually had no objection to Vivi and Ash's contact. After all, someone who could accompany their daughter when she was still a little chubby girl was much more reassuring than those who came after their daughter became pretty. Of course, Vivi's parents still didn't know that Ash was a mega-rich son-in-law. Dividing line. I don't know if Xiaogang is really heartless or just a mega-pervert, but he quickly recovered from the blow of finding out that his goddess has a crush on someone else. This can be seen from the fact that he started to harass other older sisters again. Oh. It is very annoying to carry a stupid duck on your back, and this stupid duck likes to flutter all the time, but Ash calmly lets the duck flutter. Behind Ash, Chansey continues to take the cake to captivate this foodie. Vivi looked at Ash's Seduck and said with some embarrassment, I understand Ash's feelings a little bit. Although Ash's Seduck is very psychic, its intelligence is. Misty looked at the fluttering duck on Ash's back and said helplessly, there's nothing we can do. This stupid duck was tamed by Ash himself. This may be the only time he was smart. Regarding Ash's Seduck's IQ, there is no solution for the time being, but the journey must continue, and Poké Copyright Monday training cannot be neglected. Infernape attacks Squirtle as I taught you, and Squirtle, you defend yourself with the golden bell and deep breathing. Roar. Are you ready? Jenny. Anytime. Infernape looked at Squirtle in front of him, took a deep breath, and then he threw a bunch of punches. Ola. Vivi looked at Infernape's Ola and said in surprise, isn't this what you practiced when we were kids, Ash? Yes, this is very suitable for fighting Poké Copyright Monday. Misty's Squirtle looked at his boss with admiration when he saw that he could actually withstand Infernape's aura. Jenny. The boss is so strong. Although Squirtle was very proud of being admired by his younger brother, he did not let his guard down, but kept strengthening his defense circle. Ash's countless teachings made him understand that if he let his guard down, he would be defeated. Infernape was not surprised that he failed to break Squirtle's defense. What he was practicing now was the speed and endurance of his punches rather than the power. He would use his true strength only when the real battle came. The sharp-eyed Misty soon discovered that Squirtle didn't seem to be attacked at all because every time Infernape attacked, it seemed to be attacked by 10 invisible protections formed by water flow. What is this? Misty noticed Ash and smiled, as expected of Misty, you figured it out so quickly? That's right, using the recovery power of the water skill liquid circle to create a protective shield around Squirtle's body, this is the secret of Squirtle's water shield, but all of this is a trap, Squirtle's real strength lies in his body's defense. Okay, Infernape and Squirtle, you can stop now. Jenny. Relax. Roar. You can keep punching. Boss, Squirtle and Infernape said they can continue. Although diligence is a good thing, necessary rest is still needed. It's time to eat. Ash said as he asked Kurla to use Psychic to bring out the prepared food. Then a group of Poké Copyright Monday and Ash started eating directly. Woo. Rare candy. Dragonite, although it's okay for you to eat rare candy now, you can't eat too much. The same goes for you, Pikachu. Pikapi. Why can Meowth and Chansey eat more? Because we've been promoted, Meow, we need to stay alert now. Ah, this tastes so good. Ash shook his head speechlessly as he watched the group of guys about to quarrel over rare candy. He then took out a portion of sauce and handed it to Misty, saying, Misty, this is the shrimp shell sauce I made based on Squirtle's taste. Give your Squirtle some every day. It will be good for his shell. Thank you. Can you tell me how to make it? I can't keep bothering you. Since they were already on good terms, Misty didn't refuse. However, she couldn't always rely on Ash, so Ash gave her the recipe and said, these are the recipes I recorded for my Water Poké Copyright Monday hobby. Take a copy. Misty took a booklet and looked at the densely packed records. She understood that Ash's current success was due to his so-called past life knowledge as well as his current efforts. Thank you, these are very useful to me. Well, Xiaogang 2.6 this is the mineral recipe that Rock Poké Copyright Monday likes, and the one that Yuzabet likes. Thank you. Aren't you going to give it to Miss Vivi? Hearing what Xiao Gang said, Vivi smiled and took out a booklet and said, I gave it to you when I was a child. I know my preference for Vulpix very well now. Woo. Vulpix shouted happily when he heard Vivi calling him. Who? I'm so full. Oh? Infernape is full? Then recall the deep pounding attack I taught you before, and we'll practice it later. Roar. Understood. Chapter 93. Infernape, focus your ripples on your fists and punch them into the enemy's body. Don't let the enemy notice you, so you need to be able to assess the level of damage you can cause to the enemy. Roar. Understood. Well, now let's start practicing G-depth. Roar. Seeing Ash start training with Infernape, Vivi smiled and said, it's still the same as before, training with Poké Copyright Monday. Has Ash been training with Poké Copyright Monday since the beginning? Misty was curious about Ash's past life, while Vivi nodded and said, yes, Ash and Pikachu used to train together in the gym. Forward. Upon hearing the word gym, Xiao Gang who was standing nearby instantly fell to the ground as if all his strength had been drained away. Misty and Vivi who were watching were very surprised, while Meowth and the others smiled slightly. The fitness park was a complete nightmare for a pervert like Xiao Gang. Dividing line. Abby. Boss, he seems to want to challenge us. Looking at Hitmonchan in front of him, Ash shook his head and asked Infernape, want to go? Looking at Hitmonchan, Infernape shook his head. Roar. You should have seen that he is not fit to fight me now. Indeed, the high-intensity training has left Hitmonchan with many hidden injuries. Fighting Hitmonchan now would be bad for him. Hitmonchan, you should also understand that your hidden injuries are not suitable for fighting, right? Hearing Ash's words, Hitmonchan silently put down his fist. He knew his body very well. But after seeing Ash's Infernape, he couldn't help but want to challenge. You mean there's a problem with my training? At this time, a guy with a thick chin appeared, and this guy looked at Ash unhappily. Ash looked at this guy and said unhappily, your training itself is very problematic. Don't you know how to combine work and rest? From this point, I can see that you are the kind of guy who doesn't care about your family. I have nothing to say to guys like you. What did you say? Then let your Infernape compete with my Hitmonchan. Looking at the big man in front of him, Ash shook his head and said to Infernape beside him, then Infernape, let him understand how stupid he is, and by the way, let him know how many hidden injuries Hitmonchan has. Who? I understand. Go ahead Hitmonchan. Use agility. Take a deep breath, then take a defensive stance. As Hitmonchan quickly approached Infernape, Ash's Infernape also took a defensive stance. When Infernape took a defensive stance, Hitmonchan suddenly found himself at a loss. Go Hitmonchan. Use Mach Punch. Abby. Hearing the big man's order, Hitmonchan quickly punched Infernape, but this move was easily neutralized by Infernape's fist. At the same time, Ash also said, attack his hidden wound parts, don't use too much force, let him know his own problems. Roar. Infernape's eyes flashed with a gleam of light, and then it hit Hitmonchan's arm, and then quickly hit Hitmonchan's leg. And every time Infernape hits Hitmonchan, he feels pain. Don't stop, Infernape can't make him move, attack Ola. Ola. As Infernape's fists created after images to attack the big man, Hitmonchan could only passively endure these attacks, because Infernape attacked his hidden parts every time. Hitmonchan strikes back. TT. Ash choked and said, don't you understand? Because of the hidden injury, your Hitmonchan has lost the ability to resist, so let Infernape take the final blow. Roar. Stop. Stop hurting Daddy's Poké Copyright Monday. Just as Infernape's final 537 attack was about to hit Hitmonchan, a girl ran out, and Ash put his hand on Infernape's shoulder. Stop, don't hurt anyone by mistake. When Ash's hand was on Infernape's shoulder, Infernape found that he would not get hurt if he had withdrawn his strength hastily. Instead, he withdrew his strength very smoothly. Who? Master, what is that? Ash looked at Infernape's puzzled expression and knew what he wanted to ask. A qualified fighter must be able to control his strength freely. You still have a lot to learn. Roar. I understand. Seeing that Infernape understood, Ash looked at the girl and said unhappily, don't you know this is dangerous? I'm sorry. But I can't watch Daddy's Hitmonchan get hurt. The big man looked at the girl and called out in surprise, Rebecca. Chapter 94. Rebecca. Dad, please stop indulging in fighting and go home, okay? At this time, the big man was being blocked by his daughter with an embarrassed look on his face while Ash and the others were eating melons and watching the show. Ash said while eating candy, see, I said he is definitely the type who doesn't care about his family. I was right. Misty's eyes twitched as she looked at Ash's candy. She couldn't help but ask, Ash, could your candy be? I just made it recently, do you want to eat it? You should leave it to the Poké Copyright Monday. Misty and Xiao Gang finally understood why Ash could eat rare candy as if it were ordinary candy. Ash could make it easily. Vivi took Ash's candy and put it in her mouth while eating it and said, the taste has improved again. Well, I made a lot of different flavors. Ash said as he fed a rare candy to Meowth and Infernape, and then continued to watch the show. Anyway, I won't go home until I win the P1 fighting championship. After saying this, the big man named Shando took Hitmonchan to heal his wounds. Although Hitmonchan was defeated, it was good that he had hidden injuries discovered and he should be treated quickly. And watching Anthony taking Hitmonchan to get treatment while massaging his stupid duck's head, he said, he still has some conscience. He knows to heal his Hitmonchan's hidden injuries a with circumflex degree, and just when Ash was massaging the duck's head, Rebecca came over. Before Rebecca could finish her words, Xiao Gang had already rushed in front of her and said, yes. May I ask what can I do for you, miss? Seeing Xiao Gang running to Rebecca and showing his affection, Ash Misty Vivi's mouth twitched, but she didn't say anything. She just let Xiao Gang communicate. I'm sorry, my father has caused you a lot of trouble. It's okay. It's okay. Looking at the lecherous Xiao Gang, Ash felt that it was the right decision for him to have someone take him to the fitness park before, otherwise this guy would probably cause him a lot of trouble. Just when Ash was thinking about letting Xiaogang go to the fitness park next time, Rebecca also told him about their family situation. To put it bluntly, her father Anthony has been practicing in the mountains in order to help Hitmonchan win the P1 fighting competition and has never been home. This makes Rebecca, as a daughter, very worried. If possible, can you please defeat my father's Hitmonchan in the P1 fighting tournament? I think if he is defeated in the arena, he should be able to go home, right? Rebecca had seen Ash's Infernape's performance before, and in her opinion, as long as Ash's Infernape came on the field, her father would be able to face reality. However, before Ash, who Amy had high hopes for, could speak, Xiaogang spoke first, leave this to me. We will defeat your father. Seeing Xiaogang talking so much, Vivi, who was holding Vulpix, couldn't help but ask, Xiaogang, don't you only have Rock Poka copyright Monday and Zubat? It's okay, my Guay Dude can do it. And Ash's Infernape is also very suitable for fighting competitions. Ash, who was horny, shrugged and looked at Infernape and asked, how about it? Wanna have a fight? How about getting a gold belt and wearing it? Roar. Of course. Seeing that Infernape also wanted to fight, Ash agreed to Amy's request. After all, it would be a good idea to let Anthony Smelling Salt, who didn't know how to take care of his family, take a bite. On the other hand, the three clowns of Team Rocket also set their sights on the gold belt of the P1 fighting competition because their funds have run out. Jessie, I told you not to buy such luxury goods. Now we can't even eat after paying for the machine. James was a little helpless when he saw his empty wallet, but Jessie said confidently, it doesn't matter, as long as we win the gold belt in the P1 fighting competition. But we don't have any fighting Poka copyright Monday, Meow. As soon as Meowth finished speaking, he noticed Jessie was looking at him, and then Meowth immediately hugged his body and said, don't be ridiculous. You want me to fight? I'm not that stupid, look at that. James and Meowth looked in the direction of Jessie's finger and saw a tall man with a shaggy face. That's the Shawarang who is known for his kicking skills. All we have to do is grab him. The three members of Team Rocket smiled. Evilly. Chapter 95. The P1 fighting competition is now open for players to enter. Let us welcome Hitmonchan, the fighting machine. And his trainer Anthony. The P1 fighting competition has begun, and Ash and Xiaogang have signed up for this competition. Of course, Ash is now eager to know how Xiaogang's Guay Dude will be beaten up next. You have to know that this is a fighting competition, and you are asking for death if you let Rock participate. But then Ash looked at Anthony's Hitmonchan and nodded. Hitmonchan's hidden injuries had been healed, so he could let Infernape beat him up without any scruples. Then Ash looked at the second team of candidates, and then Ash numbly said to Infernape beside him, let's go beat up the trainer of Shaveround together later. Hey. What's wrong? Ash was speechless as he looked at the giant that was obviously a stack of Team Rocket, and at the same time felt that everyone needed to see their eyes. 713. Just when Ash was speechless, the commentator finished introducing Xiaogang. Then the next contestant is... Oh. It's Mr. Ash, the head boss of our P1 Grand Prix sponsor Continental Hotel, and his Infernape. Thank you very much to Continental Hotel for supporting the P1 Grand Prix. Ash was stunned at the time. He sponsored the P1 Grand Prix? While Ash was stunned, Pikachu took out a list, and Meowth whispered, Boss, you forgot that we do support this Grand Prix, and the purpose is to find good candidates for the security department, Meow. Oh, I remember now. Since the sponsorship fee was not even a fraction of my pocket money, I didn't remember it much. Then Ash and Infernape also appeared, and because of the commentator's introduction, Ash received a warm welcome as soon as he came out. After all, everyone who came here loves fighting, and they are very grateful to those who can sponsor the P1 fighting competition. Jessie and the others were speechless looking at Ash. They still remembered the scene where Infernape beat people up. That was something that Shaveround could endure. Jessie, damn, the little devil is here. Looks like we need to make some preparations. Meowth, agreed Meow. James, I said, can we change seats, dividing line? First match. Infernape versus Machop. Looking at the Machop on the opposite side, Ash observed for a while and said to Infernape, the Machop breeder on the opposite side is good, and its strength is outstanding. Let's fight with quick attacks. Roar. Ding. 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 Machop. Use karate chop. Machop. Looking at Machop rushing towards Infernape, Ash said directly, follow the plan. Roar. CFBC, Infernape followed Ash's advice and did not launch an attack directly. Instead, he relied on his own steps to dodge Machop's attacks. At the same time, he secretly used focus energy and stared at Machop. Damn it, this Infernape is totally different from the normal Infernape. Machop's trainer also noticed the difference in Infernape, but there was nothing he could do. Ash's Infernape was too agile and could easily dodge Machop's powerful attacks. Ash's Infernape also seized an opportunity and quickly approached Machop and punched him in the vitals. Machop. Machop paused for a moment in pain, and Ash saw Infernape's successful attack and shouted, now. Crazy Fury swipes. Roar. Although Infernape's hands now look like boxing gloves, he evolved from Mankey after all, and it is impossible for him to forget his ability to tickle people. Therefore, as Infernape continued to scratch Machop, he was obviously exhausted. Seeing this, Ash did not stop but shouted, catch him. Then seismic toss. Roar. Oh no. Machop's trainer knew it was over when he saw that Machop didn't react or come, while Infernape grabbed Machop, who couldn't open his eyes because his face was grabbed, and used seismic toss. The huge impact caused the already injured Machop to completely lose his strength, and then Machop lay down unable to get up. Oh. Infernape knocked out Machop with a torrential attack. Thank you for your hard work, Infernape. Have a drink and take a rest first. Looking at the drink Ash prepared for him, Infernape nodded. Happily. Chapter 96. The second match is between Xiaogang's Guay Dude and the kicking ghost Shaveround. So both of you please get ready to start the match. Looking at the Savaran opposite Xiaogang, Ash knew that Xiaogang was in trouble this time. The Savarin that Team Rocket found was well trained. Ding, J, ding. As the game started, Goedoud and Chevron rushed towards each other, but Xiaogang even had time to show his affection to Rebecca in the audience. Rebecca. Just watch. I'm going to fight for you. Be careful. Hearing Amy's words be careful, Xiaogang turned his head in confusion, and then Goedoud's head became bigger and bigger in front of him. Plan. As Xiaogang screamed, Goedoud hit him right in the head. Ash looked at the situation and turned his head away and said, "Oh my god. It's too cruel. I can't bear to watch it. Come here, Infernape, let me massage your muscles." Roar. Good. While Ash was massaging Infernape's muscles to adjust the contest condition, Gon's Goedoud was being beaten up inhumanely. It was a violent kick. This was because Ash had taught Gon the recipe before, which improved Goedoud's defense. However, it was estimated that it was only a matter of time before Goedoud was kicked unconscious. Ash had no intention of stopping it, and it was time to let Gon know his problem. Thinking of this, Ash peeled an orange and ate it while passing it to the Poké Copyright Monday around him. The only one who needed to be fed was Ash's Seduc, and this guy didn't even take it and just opened his mouth to wait for it to be fed. As for Xiaogang, he was helpless as he watched Goedoud being kicked. However, Anthony came over and handed him a red scarf and said, "A real man can admit defeat honestly. Where did you fall?" Before Anthony could finish, Ash said quietly, "Friendly reminder, he wants to seduce your daughter. He just said he wanted to fight for Rebecca. Just lie down where you fell. Never get up." In the end, Xiaogang took the red scarf from Anthony with a gloomy face and chose to abstain. Ash and Xiaogang looked at Goedoud together and found that he was fine. Xiaogang hugged Goedoud and said, "Thank you for your hard work, Goedoud. I will clean you up next time. Here's some wax. It's specially made for Rock Poké Copyright Monday. Helping Goedoud with his recovery will also help. I hope you can remember this lesson and stop trying to show off your abilities." Thanks Ash. In the subsequent matches, Ash's Infernape, Anthony's Hitmonchan, and Team Rocket's Chevron all advanced easily, but there was another team of players that Ash paid more attention to, that was a Machoke and a guy with a cloak covering his body, but judging from his size, he seemed to be very strong. Ash patted Infernape who was eating to replenish his energy and pointed at Macamp and said, "Did you see that Machoke? He has reached the elite level. You must rely on special skills to defeat him, otherwise your strength and speed will never be comparable to his. Although you have reached the pinnacle of the elite through your own battles in the wild and my training, if rival is an elite, this huge disparity cannot be solved by endeavor alone. But this is also your chance, a chance to break through to that level." Roar. Understood. Ash and Infernape then welcomed their rival Rocket's Chevron. "Hey, you two from Team Rocket, we meet again." Roar. Long time no see. Seeing Ash and Infernape on the opposite side who seemed ready to beat people up at any time, Jessie and James stopped pretending and just threw away their disguises and hugged each other tremblingly. Seeing the two men looking scared, Ash looked at Chevron and asked, "They are not your trainers, right? Why do you have to obey their orders?" Sheva. Meowth suddenly understood what Chevron said and said, "Oh, so you were loaned to participate in the fighting competition. For you, it's not just to watch the trainer, but to participate in the competition." Sheva. Yes, after hearing what Chevron said, Ash nodded and said, "I see, no wonder, let's have a good fight." "Who? Let's have a fight." Sheva. "It's my honor. Sir." Chapter 97. J. Go ahead, Chavalan. Kick him to death. Sheva. This woman is so annoying. Roar. Let's find some time to beat her up together. Sheva. Yes. Although Infernape and Chevron chatted for a while, they really started fighting. Both Poké Copyright Monday started to fight with all their strength. Infernape's fists and Chevron's legs kept hitting each other, and they were also looking for each other's flaws. In a gap, Chevron flew up and performed a double kick, while Infernape quickly approached Chevron after withstanding the first jump kick, and then began to attack Chevron at the 343 corner of his attack. Ola. Well done. Ola is so exhausted. The whole audience was boiling with excitement when they saw Infernape's crazy Ola Chevron. It appears. It looks like Mr. Ash's Infernape's original skill, Ola. How can Chavalan survive this constant attack? Sha Alan, who was constantly defeated by Ola, also realized that he could not go on like this, otherwise he would definitely lose. Sheva. After seeing an opportunity, Chevron used the kick skill directly, which was a skill he had been using since he evolved. This kick also made Infernape aware of the danger, so Infernape could only interrupt Ola and jump away to avoid it. Go. Crazy Fury swipes. Roar. Sheva. Just as Zavalong and Infernape were fighting again, Meowth from Team Rocket was secretly crawling under the ring to cause trouble. However, when he was about to put down his machine, Pikachu patted him on the shoulder. "Who is it?" "Hey Pikachu." Pikachu looked at Meowth and smiled and then. Pikachu. Hearing Meowth's miserable cry under the ring, Growl Ash looked at his Meowth, and then Meowth smiled and crawled under the ring. Dividing line. "Meowth, is the machine installed?" When Jessie saw Meowth coming back, she asked impatiently, but Ash's Meowth smiled and handed them the remote control, saying, "No problem. Just press it when the time is right. I'm going to go and secretly observe the little ghost." Ash's Meowth then went under the ring and returned to Ash's side with Pikachu, holding back their laughter, to continue watching the match. In the ring, Ash's Infernape and Chevron were both about to use their last moves. Roar. Final blow. Sheva. Just what I wanted. Then Chevron jumped up, and at that moment Jessie pressed the switch. Then the strong current instantly shocked Jessie and James. While Jessie and James were screaming, Chevron used high jump kick on Infernape, and Ash shouted, "Go Infernape! Supreme Rising Dragon King!" Roar. As Infernape roared, he jumped up with all his strength and used his own and Ash's special moves. As the shadow of the dragon rushed into the sky, Shaveran fell heavily on the ring and could not get up again. Ding ding ding. Shavelin can't rise again. The winner of this battle is Infernape. The supreme rising dragon tyrant just now was so cool. Seeing Infernape making it to the finals, Misty excitedly shouted, "Great," and Vivi, who was beside Misty, also hugged Vulpix and said, "Infernape's move really worked. Lucky. The finals are coming up." After the game, Ash and Infernape helped Shaveran up, and Shaveran smiled and said, "Shavar. Shavar. That move just now was really beautiful. Roar. I've practiced this move for a long time. Do you want to go beat up that woman together?" Shava. "Okay, she's always whining and it really annoys me." After listening to Meowth's translation, Ash smiled and handed them both drinks and said, "Drink something first to catch your breath, so you will have enough strength to fight later." Roar. "So sweet. Shava. Thank you so much." When Jessie and James woke up, they found Meowth lying beside them, all charred. Jessie realized that the Meowth was Ash's. "Damn, we got cheated." "Who? You should worry about yourself. Shava. I can finally kick you." As Shavelin and Infernape slowly approached, Jessie and James couldn't help but hug each other. What a disgusting feeling. Then Infernape and Shaveran started beating up Jessie 4.1 together, while James just watched in confusion. What is going on? Ash, who came over with Seduc, handed him a glass of water and said, "Oh, Jessie was always yelling in the audience before, which annoyed Infernape and Shaveran, so now they are just venting their rage." "Oh, is that so?" "No. Jessie, I'm here to save you," whoosh. As soon as James moved, Jessie flew straight out and stuck her head into the wall while Infernape and Zavalan kept punching and kicking. Roar. It feels so good. Shava. Comfortable. Chapter 98. Since the renter of the Shaveran was not known where he was taken, Ash decided to have his subordinates send Shaveran back after the P1 fighting competition was over. Shaveran also expressed his gratitude for Ash's help and handed Ash a business card. After Ash read it, he found out that the company that Shaveran cooperated with was his own. Ha ha ha, what a surprise. I didn't expect it to be a fighting Poké Copyright Monday that signed a contract with our company. Shava. I didn't expect this to happen. Thank you so much for providing us with a platform for cultivation. In fact, this Shavelin is a wild Poké Copyright Monday, and he signed a contract with Ash's company so that he could participate in some fighting competitions to improve his strength. Since Ash has a group of Macamp Machop Machok in the back mountain of Pallet Town, a group of fighting Poké Copyright Monday can advertise for each other. For the fighting Poké Copyright Monday who is a training maniac, it is simply too good to sign a contract with Ash's company to be able to participate in fighting competitions. On the other side, Uncle Anthony's Hitmonchan lost to the cloaked man's Machok. Sure enough, our practice is not enough, Hitmonchan. Abby. Anthony sighed while holding Hitmonchan, but the cloaked man walked up and said, "You are too obsessed with training. This will only make both you and Hitmonchan nervous. You will not be able to improve at this rate." Rebecca also ran over and looked at Anthony. Dad. Looking at his daughter, Anthony thought about what the cloaked man said and what Ash said before, and sighed. Indeed, I was obsessed with training and forgot about my family. Dad. Rebecca smiled when she heard Anthony say that, and Anthony smiled and apologized. "I'm sorry Rebecca, I made you so worried." "It's okay, as long as Dad can think it through." The cloaked man nodded at the affectionate scene between the father and daughter, while Ash walked over with his Seduc and said, "Although what you said is quite right, don't you think it's a bit of a bully to bring an elite level Poké Copyright Monday into battle, Master Bruno?" When everyone heard Ash's words, they were shocked because Bruno was one of the Kanto Elite Four. And the cloaked man also threw away his cloak. "Ha ha ha ha. As expected, I can't hide it from a guy of your level. So, with Pikachu and Meowth, you must be Ash." "Ah, that's right, we're going to have a fight next." Ash patted the Infernape beside him, and Infernape also went all out. Roar. Bruno, the Infernape, looked at Ash and smiled. "Then let's have a final match, dividing line. Listen, Infernape, let me reiterate, that Machok is an elite, and you are at the peak of the elite level now. It's really hard to beat him under normal conditions, but if you plan well, you can still fight. It's not unheard of for the weak to defeat the strong." Roar. "Master, tell me what to do." "We do this. Ding ding ding. The P1 Grand Prix finals are about to begin. Who will win the championship belt? Elite 4 Master Bruno's Machok or Mega Dark Horse Ash's Infernape? The P1 Grand Prix finals are starting now." As the match began, Infernape and Machok stared at each other. They were not in a hurry to take action because the fight between masters could end in a moment of inattention. While Infernape was staring at Bruno's Machok, he began to take deep breaths as Ash had told him to do before the battle. Something's wrong with that Infernape. He's increasing his contest condition. Machok is rushing over to show his power. Ash was not surprised to see Bruno notice Infernape's deep breathing and said directly, "Go Infernape. Let's fight." Roar. Then Infernape used crazy fury swipes. Facing an elite Poké Copyright Monday, it is better to let Infernape perform on its own rather than letting Ash direct it, because when the name of the move is called out, the opponent may have already prepared countermeasures. Although Infernape's crazy fury swipes surprised Machok for a moment, he quickly reacted and launched Fire Punch. Farmer's 3 punches. Infernape Ola. Ola 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 Ola. Seeing Infernape's super fast punches, Siba yelled to Machok, "Use protection. Go away." As a layer of green film appeared on Machok's body, the magical skill that had been used by countless people appeared, but after seeing the protection, Ash smiled. Not good. Seeing Ash's smile, Bruno also realized that something was wrong, but it was too late. Infernape's violent attacks continued to hit Machok's defense, and after Infernape's attack failed, he did not stop but launched a more violent attack. With Infernape's endless attack, the protection was broken. It's your biggest mistake to use protection in front of my Infernapes Ola Ola. Infernape Ola he. N. Needless to say, Ash's aura never stopped protecting Infernape from the moment it was broken, and Ash and Infernape were silently reciting the depth level at the same time. G depth 4*2 we can't let him attack anymore. Machoke uses karate chop on Infernape. You can't hide anymore, stop him. Go away. The elite level force hit Infernape's arm, causing him to take a step back, but it also aroused Infernape's ferocity. Go ahead, Infernape. Attack with all your might. You are also Machoke. No need to hold back. N. Go away. Then Machoke and Infernape had the most primal battle, with Infernape grabbing, crazy fury swipes, and even rampages, and Machoke's 3-punch farmer's punch, megaton slam, and superpower. Infernape and Machoke were getting more and more injured, and it was obvious that Infernape was about to collapse. After all, he was only an elite peak, and Machoke was an elite. Infernape was able to hold on until now only by taking deep breaths to recover. Bruno looked at Ash's Infernape and nodded, saying, you have fought against the elite with the strength of the top elite until now. Ash, your Infernape is very strong. But it's over. Machoke submission. Go away. Upon hearing Bruno's order, Machoke rushed to Infernape and grabbed him, then used his special move, submission, which made Xiaogang, who was watching the game, tremble. Little Vivi also looked at Infernape worriedly. Go away. With the final throw of Machoke, Infernape fell heavily on the ring, but Infernape still stood up with the deep breathing taught by Ash. Ash looked at Infernape and couldn't help but said, that's enough, Infernape. Bruno nodded in agreement after hearing what Ash said. Are you going to admit defeat? But your Infernape has done very well, and it is indeed the right choice to surrender at this time. No. Our ultimate moves are enough. Infernape's final move. G depth 9. Final blast. Roar, dividing line. After looking at Anthony Ash, he pulled Infernape behind him and said, forget it. Your training method is not going to work. You should learn how to combine work and rest. It's enough for me to train Infernape. G depth 9. This is a level that can already imprison the enemy's actions. Infernape, deliver that punch. It appears. The champion is Infernape. He defeated Machoke and won the P1 Grand Prix. When Infernape looked at the person next to him, he found that Ash was holding his arm and looking at him with a smile. Misty in the stands saw that Infernape actually defeated the elite and couldn't help but shout happily, great. Infernape won. Vivi looked at Ash and the others holding Infernape to keep him from falling, and couldn't help but smile, you're still as gentle as before, Ash. Damn it. Just wait. I will become stronger together with Hitmonchan. At home, of course. After taking a look at his daughter, Anthony silently threw Xiaogang, who was trying to please him, aside. Yes, Infernape did a great job this time. That's extreme training. Oh, that's great, bump. Roar. Master, Bruno walked over and looked at Ash and said, that's great, is that your original technique? As Bruno was talking, Anthony came over and said, your Infernape is very talented. He might be a genius in fighting. How about I help you train him to become a professional fighter? Roar, roar. Of course. Interesting, really interesting. I am looking forward to your competition in Indigo Plateau more and more. Infernape felt his eyes getting wet, and Pikachu and Meowth also supported Infernape from the other side, and even Ash's duckling hugged Infernape's legs. At this point, the P1 Fighting Grand Prix ended with Infernape defeating Elite and becoming the quasi-elite champion. How can we let the champion fall at a time like this? 667 I will give you the championship belt. As Infernape punched Machoke, Machoke's eyes gradually widened. Get out. Ding ding ding. DFL. Bruno smiled as he looked at Ash and the others. Along with Machoke's scream, the ripples that had been injected into Machoke's body began to erupt, followed by a violent vibration on Machoke's body. Machoke rolled his eyes and fell to his knees on the ground, unable to get up. Infernape stood there panting, waiting for the referee's decision. Oh. Dad. Wow 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 wow. Asterisk and just when Machoke was about to use protection, he found that his body was out of control. Roar. After all, I can't be wrong again. Shut up if you don't know how to balance work and rest. The champion is my Infernape, not your Hitmonchan. With a roar from Infernape, he quickly rushed to Machoke, and Bruno saw this and shouted, use protection. When he heard that he was the champion, Infernape finally gave up and slowly fell down, but just when he was about to fall to the ground, someone held him up. Ash personally put the championship belt on Infernape, and looking at his Infernape wearing the championship belt, Ash smiled and praised, very good Infernape, this championship belt suits you very well. Chapter 89. This Chevalan is our company's contracted Poké copyright Monday. Please help us find his renter. I don't know where this unfortunate customer is now. Sheva. Thank you. When the staff of the Continental Hotel were about to start searching for the unlucky customer, Xiao Zilio looked at Bruno who seemed to want to ask something and said, I think it's almost time to post, how about joining us? That's great. Actually, I have something I want to ask you. Bruno was not polite. After all, he did have something to ask Ash. Inside the Continental Hotel, Misty Vivi was a little stunned as she watched Bruno quickly clear the food on the table, while Ash instructed the waiter to add more dishes while explaining, this is normal. Bruno is a fighter after all, so he has a great demand for food. Vivi looked at the pile of empty plates beside Bruno and said speechlessly, even so, you are still a big eater. I remember that we didn't eat so much when we were exercising for. Ha ha ha, sorry, I forgot to eat when I came to the competition, so I'm a little hungry. Nothing, Master Bruno, what do you want to talk to me about? If it's a self-created technique, it's not that I don't want to teach you, but without a specific method, you can't hit the G depth. Ash asked calmly while silently pushing some plates to Misty Vivi and Xiaogang, and Bruno said with understanding, although I really want to know, I still understand the value of self-created techniques. What I really want you to help with is Machoke's matter. Machoke, come here. Leave. Machoke, who was eating and chatting with Ash's Infernape, came over in confusion, and Bruno put his arm around Machoke's shoulder and said, in fact, I heard that you have medicine that can heal hidden injuries. My old friend can't evolve because of hidden injuries, and his elite strength has been unstable, so I want to see if I can buy him one. Ash put down his chopsticks, walked forward and began to touch Machoke's body, and Howlee cooperated without making any movements. Really? There are quite a few hidden injuries. I was wondering why the duration of G-Depth 9 imprison was extended. It turns out it was caused by the hidden injuries. After confirming Machoke's condition, Ash returned to his seat and said, I can treat his condition. Oh. Then. But. I'll give you a fresh portion, so let's eat first. Bruno and Machoke were both shocked when they heard this, but they were relieved when they heard Ash said it needed to be made right away. But how can we eat if you ask us to do that? As long as we can eat, it's fine. Come on, Misty Vivi, eat more and don't worry about your figure. Traveling is hard and you can't let your mouth go to waste. Giving Bruno a look that said he deserved to be single, Ash started to pick up food for Misty Vivi. As for Xiao Gang, men don't need help, dividing line. Hey, to be honest, making Chinese medicine pills is very troublesome, and you have to make them according to the categories of Poké Copyright Monday. Come on, Vivi, you and Xiaoling help me sort the herbs. Xiao Gang will ask Gue Dud to crush the herbs with you. Gue Dud's fists are best. Misty was a little dazzled by the pile of herbs on the table, and Xiao Lei smiled and said, 1. Xiao Fan, you can just pick one type, for example, this Vivi then took out a different kind of herb, and Misty thanked her and said, thank you. I'll pick this one. Bruno was too embarrassed to just stand there while watching Ash and the others working, so he asked Ash, do you need my help? Then crush the herbs together with Xiao Gang. Don't disturb me now. Can't you see this is a delicate job? Ash's eyes never left the props in his hands while he was talking, and he didn't even dare to blink. Good. After hearing what Ash said, Bruno went to help resentfully. As for Ash's attitude? Please, he is helping Machoke to prepare medicine. Bruno hoped that Ash would recognize Drew more, but seeing Ash pouring some herbal powder little by little onto the thing Ash called a weight, Bruno felt speechless. Does making medicine need to be so delicate? Seeing Bruno so confused, Vivi couldn't help but explain, well, this is actually Ash's habit. Normal always prescribes the best medicine, but for Ash, Normal will strive for the best, so he is much more meticulous. I see. Chapter 100. Come on Machoke, spit. Leave. Seeing Ash holding this strange bowl towards him and asking him to spit, Machoke felt a little strange, but Ash said expressionlessly, what? Are you asking me to spit? Friendly reminder, you will have to eat later. Get out. Hearing Ash say this, Machoke quickly spit into it, and Ash quickly started pounding the medicine. Normally, you need a special water source, but now there is no water source, so you can only use saliva as a substitute. It can be regarded as a folk remedy. Seeing Ash pounding the medicine expressionlessly, Bruno couldn't help but take a step back. This guy may be much scarier than I imagined. When an exquisite pill was brought to Machoke and Bruno, Ash was so tired that he lay on Vivi's lap to rest. Although Gerla was envious, she gave up the idea of a pulling Ash over after seeing her own small arms and legs. Ash took the umbrella and said, one last friendly reminder, prepare the umbrella before letting Machoke take the medicine. God, it's so difficult to make medicine for elite level Poké Copyright Monday. It would be great if we could use the super dominant version like Drago Knight. Although Ash suggested Bruno to prepare an umbrella first, Bruno, who had been waiting for a long time, could not wait any longer, so he handed the pill directly to Machoke. Come to Machoke and eat it. Go away. Looking at the pill Bruno handed to him, Machoke could feel that his body was craving for this pill, which could give him a new life. Then Machoke put the pill directly into his mouth, and soon the drug power of the pill was absorbed by Machoke, CFCH. Go away. As Machoke screamed, he felt something being discharged from his body. Raise the umbrella. Seeing Machoke's expression, Ash, who was lying on Vivi's lap, narrowed his eyes and immediately raised his umbrella with a roar. The Poké Copyright Monday watching nearby also raised their umbrellas obediently. The only one who didn't raise an umbrella was Bruno, who kept looking at Machoke. Puff. With a splashing sound, a bunch of stuff similar to the filth in Dragonite's body spurted out from Machoke's body, and Bruno at the side was directly sprayed all over. He shivered when looking at the filth. He had a psychological trauma. But Machoke didn't care at all at this time. He felt the vitality of his body as if it had been reborn and he shouted to the sky. Get out. Then the light of evolution began to appear, and Machoke, which had been unable to evolve due to hidden injuries, finally evolved. Macamp. Bruno's eyes became moist as he watched his old friend finally evolve. Machoke, no. You should be called Macamp now. You finally evolved. Great. Just when Bruno was about to hug Macamp, Macamp dodged. Song Songli was covering his nose and looking at BA with disgust. Macamp. You stink. Hey. What do you mean you dislike my body odor? I became such a BD just for you. No. I'm going to smear you all over. Bruno rushed towards Macamp, who could only shout in despair. Macamp. Don't come over here, dividing line. Thank you very much for this. If you need my help in the future, please come to me, said Salation. Before parting, Bruno once again solemnly thanked Ash and the others. Ash then slightly moved Vivi and Misty back to protect them. After all, the smell on Bruno was still there. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you. And if you can, you'd better go take a shower and buy a bottle of perfume in Rainbow City. You're so rude. Bruno looked at Ash speechlessly, but then he looked at Infernape and asked, how about it? Want to fight again? No, what Infernape needs now is to consolidate his quasi-elite status. It's better not to fight against a peak elite like you, Macamp. Of course, if you want to fight with my Pikachu, I think Pikachu will be happy to accompany you. Your Pikachu. Bruno looked at the Pikachu wearing small boxing gloves and seemed ready to fight, and shook his head. No thanks, I don't have the inclination to seek abuse. Me neither, so do you think I'd let my Infernape fight your now fully recovered Macamp? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.